Hey guys, welcome to the Engineering Life channel where we talk all about what it's like to be an engineer and what we do day to day. So today I wanted to talk about why you would choose engineering as a career, and is engineering the right career choice for you, right? So I want to go ahead and start off by just sharing a story of how I got into engineering. And then we'll go into some possible other reasons why you might choose engineering and discuss why you might be a good fit. And I really want this to be a conversational channel. So if you gain anything from this video or you have any comments or concerns, please leave a comment down below and I'll respond to everyone's comments. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and jump in right into why I chose to go into engineering as my major. Okay, so funnily enough, engineering was definitely not my my first choice, or was really even on my mind. Kind of going through grade school and growing up, and that was because I was pretty dead set and sure that I wanted to do drawing for a living. And ever since I was 10, even actually younger than that, probably since I was like 8, I had been drawing. And when I was 10, I had decided I'm going to be like the best artist, the best comic book artist that has ever existed. And that was my goal when I was like 10 years old. I remember being in 5th grade and I had just finished reading or started watching Naruto, and I felt really inspired that, you know, he had this goal of becoming the Hokage and he was not going to stop at anything. So using that same determination, I came up with this goal of I'm going to be the best artist. And so that's what I thought I was going to do for the longest time. And I'm not saying that has changed, but as I got older and when I got to high school, and reality started to hit and I had a chance to really think about more things and really realize what I would need to just kind of, you know, survive in the society, so to speak. And the reason reality hit is because I started to really look into careers and started to really look into art. And I realized to be an artist, an employed artist, and not be a starving artist, you really had to learn this hustle. And that's with any industry. You really have to work not only really hard, but you also have to market and sell whatever it is that you're working on for you to be able to make that and turn that into a career. And I realized that art was a passion that I wanted to do for myself, and the stuff that I wanted to work on was, and it had to be my own, right? So if I turned that into a job, I felt like I would lose that passion. So I began to search out, okay, well, what are different careers, or how can I kind of support myself and still be an artist and not have to worry about being that starving artist, and I don't have to worry about that hustle. So I began looking around, and one thing that really stood out to me was that I wanted to be in a position where I could create anything that I needed to survive. I wanted to be self-sufficient. So this idea of self-sufficiency really drove me and led me to get to engineering. The entire principle of engineering is making and designing something based on whatever idea that you have. And I really like that kind of mindset and this idea of you can make whatever it is that you put your mind to. And so that's why I chose engineering. And being an artist, I loved creating anyway, and so engineering was kind of an extension with that. It was kind of a almost physical creation instead of a visual creation. So that really kind of caught my attention when I was looking at careers. And this is definitely not necessary, but I was already decent at math in school, and I was already getting good grades with that. And I'll kind of dive into that more, why it's not necessary to be really great at math. But I knew I already had like the skill set to be able to do it. I just needed to put my mind to it. And so that's why I chose engineering. Now, let me talk about engineering a little bit so that you can determine if you want to do engineering. And I'm going to break it down into, a couple reasons why you might choose engineering, and what are some good personalities, or at least likes to have in order to kind of lean towards being an engineer. So in engineering in general, it is a lot of time spent behind a computer, because a lot of engineering is about designing something. It's about making something. It's about validating it and testing it and seeing if it can withstand the environment that you're trying to make this product for. So you're doing a lot of analysis, such as heat transfer and bending analysis, fatigue, all these kinds of things. And all these kinds of things requires computation, and hence math, and hence being in front of a computer, because a lot of engineering done nowadays is done with calculators, and calculators have become faster and faster, and they are uploaded into computers, or not uploaded into computers, but are used via computers, and so it's very heavily computer intensive. So if you like sitting down and problem solving, that's really what engineering is. Okay, so if you like problem solving and you like sitting down, engineering may be for you. Another reason you might want to go into engineering is if you enjoy math, because it is very math heavy. Another reason you might want to go into engineering, and I probably should have started off with this, and this is probably the main reason that people get into engineering. It's because of the money, and people know that engineers get paid, and so that's why a lot of people initially choose engineering. But I don't think that's a reason that will get you through engineering school and an engineering job. I personally don't think the money would be worth it if you don't have any interest in engineering itself. But that is another reason that you might want to choose engineering. It is very stable. Engineers are always going to be in demand, at least for the foreseeable future, because we live in a consumer society, and so a consumer society means that you have to make something to consume. In order to make something, you have to engineer it. Literally everything takes engineering, from cars, planes, airplanes, restaurants, consumer devices such as phones, tablets, TVs, washer, dryer, your bathroom, sink, literally anything has to be engineered, and it has to be designed by someone. Vacuum cleaners, whatever you can think of. So in terms of dependability, that's another reason why you might want to go into it. What else? What other reasons we got? So I think that about covers the main reasons that you would want to go into engineering. And the main reason for me, again, was just the fact that I could make stuff, and then I would learn the process of making stuff. And with that comes a lot of power and a lot of a skill set. And growing up, I didn't necessarily have a lot of things, so this idea that I could make the things that I wanted to, whether it be like an electric scooter or a dune buggy, as in the case of what I did for my senior design project, I thought that was what was really appealing to me. Now, reasons why you wouldn't want to go into engineering, like I said before, it's very computer intensive, so you have to do a lot of sitting in front of the computer. You have to have patience, because a lot of the times your ideas don't come out right the first time. And in engineering, it's all about iteration on iteration on iteration on iteration, and it takes time. Engineering is very time intensive, so if you're the kind of person that's impatient, you just want to see a result immediately, engineering might not be for you. And besides that, I can't really think of other reasons not to go in engineering. And so to conclude this video, I want to say that if you're thinking about engineering and you think you're going to have that passion, and it's like you're really interested in how stuff is made, and you like taking stuff, you just like seeing how things work, you like looking at videos like that, and you like to take things apart, then I honestly think that you'll probably enjoy it for the most part. And I want to conclude this video by saying that you don't have to stay in this field or profession forever, and that's not what I'm planning to do. I will always be, like I said, engineer at heart, but it doesn't necessarily mean that I'll be an engineer in the traditional sense of an engineer. I think the principles and the ideas of engineering is really cool and it's really good, and it's really helping me develop a sense of critical thinking and just getting things done and coming up with solutions. But I don't think it's necessarily my end all. Like I said before, I still have a passion in drawing, and so I'm really going to be combining a lot of different things, so drawing and engineering. So when you go into engineering, don't think that engineering is the only thing that you have to do. I would still encourage you to have other habits, and you can still go into any other field that you want to afterwards. Engineering is very broad. You can get pretty much, at least mechanical engineering, you can pretty much get a job in any kind of industry, and you can use it as a segue for a lot of things. So hopefully that gives you guys a little bit of an insight about what engineering is like, and some reasons why you should go into engineering, and maybe some reasons why you might not want to go into engineering. Like I said at the beginning of the video, if you have any questions or if you have anything to add, please leave it in the comments below. I will be reading and responding to all of those. And again, thank you for watching, and I'll be back with another one next Monday. Alright, peace.